Oh my God. If you plan on buying anything tech related in the next 10 years, this 45-second video is going to be one of the most valuable ones you'll ever watch. Today we're going to learn how USB power delivery works, because it is insanely confusing. So regular old USB, this only supports 5 volts, like this comment is saying. 5 volts is enough to charge most small devices, and you can get charging bricks that have higher amperage, which will charge your device a little bit faster, but you're capped out at 5 volts, which can't do too much. Now, USB-C is where things get really confusing because it has a bunch of different voltages. So USB-C power bricks can output a bunch of different voltages, anywhere from 5 volts to 18 volts. And this is where it gets really cool. USB-C devices have a chip inside them, so it knows what voltage to request. So even though this power brick can output 18 volts, if this device only needs 8 volts, it's gonna ask the charger for 8 volts and only output 8 volts. This means you can plug a really dinky device into a really heavy duty charger and not worry about it frying. Now, some USB-C power bricks don't support the full 18 volts, so if you plug in a device that wants to ask for 18 volts, maybe the charger only supports 10 volts, it's only gonna get 10 volts out. This is why you can plug your phone into like your MacBook charger and it won't fry it at all. That being said, the higher voltage charging bricks tend to be a lot bigger and more expensive, so you'll find that a lot of the smaller ones that you buy only support smaller voltages, but that's usually fine for most use cases. The last thing you need to know is not all USB-C devices support power delivery. If the device doesn't have that chip to request a certain voltage, it's just going to default to the lowest one, which is 5 volts. For example, if you have a cable like this that has USB-A on one end and USB-C, you're just going to get 5 volts. That's everything you need to know about USB power. Hope that was helpful. So I love that you asked this, because I genuinely think the new Mac Mini paired with an iPad is one of the best setups anybody could get right now, especially if you're a student. Let me explain. So iPads are really popular with students, and the newer ones, when you pair it with a keyboard and trackpad, it pretty much does 90% of the things you would need from a computer. When you pair it with the touchscreen and the Apple Pencil, it could do even more. But there are some cases where the iPad doesn't cut it and you need a computer, maybe you need a little bit more power, or there's a specific task you need to do that requires a Mac. And before there was no real good option for that, you either purchase a MacBook and you kind of have 2 portable devices and one of them gets underused. Up until now, enter the Mac Mini. If you don't know, this is Apple's newest computer. You can plug your own display, keyboard, and mouse into it. It's also super affordable, especially when compared to a MacBook or iMac. Now you can pair this with any display. As a student, you might be pairing this to a TV or something else in your dorm that you already have, then you can just get a cheap mouse and keyboard. But here's where the real value comes in and why I think these things are such an incredible combo. So when you're working on your Mac here, you can wirelessly connect to your iPad and use it as a second display. So even when you're using the computer, you're still taking advantage of the iPad's screen real estate. Again, for schoolwork and stuff, this is absolutely huge. Maybe you're writing a paper on here and you have research down here. And this boils down to the absolute dream combo, because whenever you need a laptop or you want to use the iPad in class, you can feel good about using it. But when you do need a little bit of computing power, you have the Mac at home and you could still utilize the iPad alongside it without paying for all of the extra things you'd pay for with a MacBook or an iMac or something. I think these two comboed together is an absolute home run for students or otherwise. If you have any questions or disagree with me, let me know in the comments here. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, but I think these two are going to be a winner. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.